Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Volusia Flagler Cares. This is a show where we talk about nonprofit groups, what their challenges are, what their fundraising ideas and events are, and how we can help them. With us today, you lucked out, was at the Eggs and Issues and met with Shady Bauer from the American Cancer Society, and just got involved. And I thought, man, you would be such a great guest if you could be available today. And sure enough, she was kind enough to be on the show, and we are very, very fortunate to have Shadi on with us. Welcome, Shadi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be on the show. I heard about it.
Well, little by little, we're starting to get known. Now, you are the senior development manager for the American Cancer Society, but you guys have regions, right?
Yes, we do. And I'm part of the Southeast region.
Oh, okay. So, from like the states of the Southeast or the Southeast of the state of Florida?
Well, the Southeast of the state. So we're broken up into regions of like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, like that. The Southeast, they have the Midwest, they have the West
Sure.
Coast, Southwest. So I'm part of the Southeast, and Florida. We make up a really we're actually in the top 20 of the state that raises the most amount of donor dollars for American Cancer Society.
As we should be.
We should.
And we're going to talk about one of your fundraisers that's coming up. So I really want to get into that. But first of all, everybody, let me tell you something. Shadi is a nurse. And it was funny because they actually asked the question today at the Eggs and Issues. And there she was, the only one to raise her hand. Bless her heart. But not only are you a nurse, but you were a trauma nurse. What did all that involve? I mean, that can't be fun at all.
Well, it was to me. This was back in my early 20s,
Hmm.
uh, out of college. Um, yeah, I went into nurse. Actually, I was gonna go into med school, and then I found out I had cancer myself. Had couldn't go to med school. Had 9 months of chemo. Had my
Oof.
left ovary removed, and then I my nurses were amazing with me, and I was like, instead of going back to medical school, I think I want to be a nurse. And I think my parents about had a heart attack,
I'll
probably,
bet.
especially my father being Middle Eastern. So but they were very supportive. I went into nursing. I loved it. I have my master's in nursing. I've been a travel nurse. I worked in Fairfield, California, at North Bay Trauma Center. I've worked at University of Kentucky. I've worked in Portland, and all over pretty much Orlando, as a ER background nurse. But it's been fun. It was a cool ride. And I'm just really excited to be part of the American Cancer Society now for the last couple of years. It's been a really nice transition.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm still really giving back to the community. I'm still helping, even though I'm not bedside nursing anymore.
Hmm.
This is very near and dear to my heart. I've been a caregiver for a lot of my family members since I'm the only one that's in the
Right.
medical field. I was a caregiver to my uncle for 2 years, like solid straight, until he passed away from cancer. And it's just always left an impression, not just my own cancer
Hmm.
journey, but my family members as well.
Well, I don't
And I
think
just felt like
anybody in
this is the
America
next
can go.
destiny.
There's nobody in America that can say it has not touched me. Nobody. I mean,
I
it's a
agree.
100% now. 20, 30 years ago, you might have had some rural places, but no, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, but a little bit more about you. I saw that you were on a flight team.
I back in California.
Uh huh.
I worked at North Bay. They are a trauma hospital. They just have a bunch of helipads outside. Not too, so it was that type of trauma. So
It's the worst
I
of the
was
worst, I would imagine, huh?
Yeah, because that hospital's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of by Napa Valley, so you're kind of out in the
Hmm.
field. So you got some pretty big traumas that are coming through there. So I got quite a bit of training there. I did have a lot of training here in Orlando um, as flight team, and then I went and explored more of that in California, and then came back to Orlando after 2 years of having a contract out in California. Did a couple more years of that here, and then just then I went into pediatrics,
Yeah.
emergency medicine.
And again, people, when you hear American Cancer Society, you think of, the whole enchilada.
Hmm.
But yet when you watch like the St. Jude's commercials and some of these things they're front and center. They are, you can't watch TV on Saturday or Sunday without watching those commercials. But
Right.
they have a great impact. But when you are here locally,
Hmm.
what's the awareness factor of the local residents to even statistics to, to anything around here? Is there anything unique about our area? Are we like, do we have the most amount of this? Do we have any unique idiosyncrasy in a statistic that might not manifest in other places?
I don't see it necessarily in Volusia. In the state of Florida in general,
Hmm.
because of the whole state, we do have a higher population of cancer here, but that is because we have a higher population of baby boomers here
Sure.
that are getting up in age, that have lived a longer life in general. Not only just that, but now with healthcare, more people are getting checked out. So
Right.
there is more. So, of course, the statistics of cancer is going to go up when people are, because we're telling people, go get checked out. That
Yes.
doesn't mean they're dying of cancer, but Florida does have the highest rate, one of the higher rates of cancer diagnosis,
Right.
but that's because we're trying to make people more aware to go get checked out for cancer and get that solved. So not so much dying of cancer, but more of a awareness and a
Well, sure.
diagnosis of it, of
What
course.
do they say? Florida is God's waiting room. But it's not, again,
There
it
any
goes beyond.
environmental
Oh,
concerns? Oh, sorry. Is
Environmental
there any?
concerns?
Yeah,
Um,
with related to the cancer incidents.
Oh, of course. I mean, cancer is environmental genetics. It's everything a lot to do with it.
dietary.
And I don't know if you guys saw in the news, but like on Tuesday, there was a pollution awareness for Tampa that they were saying
Oh,
keep and anybody that's older or anybody in nursing homes or younger children to keep them indoors on Tuesday because the air was really polluted on
What?
Tuesday.
really?
Yeah, go check the
Ah,
news. I promise you, it was. I
how
had an
does that
alert on
even
my phone.
happen? I mean,
I have no
I
idea,
grew
but
up in
yeah.
Colorado. I understand when the
Oh, the
pollution
air over
gets
there is way.
trapped, but there's nowhere for this. But
Yeah, but I agree with you, Curtis. Environmental factors, absolutely 100%. I mean, look at Hodgkin's lymphoma. One of Hodgkin's lymphoma. A lot of people who work with chemicals like painters and stuff have a higher risk of Hodgkin's lymphoma because of the chemicals that they work with. So they're absolutely environmental factors have a lot to do with it. I actually have a cousin of mine. She is a two-time cancer survivor. She's only 50 years old. She
whoa,
is actually a famous artist. She lives in New York, and she got Hodgkin's lymphoma. And she had Hodgkin's lymphoma in her early 30s, and it was due to chemicals that she worked with. And then just 10 years ago, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Luckily, she has been cancer free for the last 5 years. But yeah, environmental has a lot to do with it. It's not just genetics.
Are there like any what they call cancer hotspots here in Florida that that are related to the environment?
Not that I know of.
good answer.
That I don't know. That would and that's a great question, and
Yeah.
that would be a question that would be because ACS has we have a really big unique department. We're divided up into so many different departments. We have ACS CAN, who does our legal, that kind of work with Congress to try to get laws changed. We also have our researchers and whatnot, like Dr. Kamal. He's head of the research team for cancer research. And that would be a great question that you could actually send in if you go on our website to ask about any cancer hotspots, because that would be something that I would be interested in knowing myself, and I might look into it more future, because I don't know. That's something that I honestly don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well,
I
now,
grew up in West Virginia and we had 2 or 3 real bad hot spots because of the chemicals from DuPont and different things up in Kanawha Valley.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know what you're talking, like the orange, what was it? The
Agent
Agent
Orange.
agent.
Orange?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like back in the day. Yeah, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Not that I know of here in Florida, but I'm sure, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure there is.
Oh,
Florida
they're
is.
all over the country. The
Yeah,
reading
yeah.
I've done it earlier. Yeah.
Well, there's so many different factors, and again, uh, I don't think you guys want to be political. But what happens when you do find, like Curtis said, a hot spot? Are you working with the local municipalities, or is that something that goes beyond the scope of the agency? Or, I mean, the only people that could come in with concrete proof or some type of mitigation would be you guys, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Absolutely. And that would take like diagnosis, doctor's diagnosis, them getting, and when you go to the doctor, they take all of this stuff into account, all these statistics: where you live, what are you doing, what
Okay.
is your diet, all those things like that. So I think if they had, obviously it would take more than a couple of people for that to come in, that's in that particular area. But
Hmm.
we've seen many documentaries on things like this. And if they start noticing like that there is like this wide group of people that are doing it, of course then people tend to rally together, put petitions together, and plus with ACS CAN, then they can do something more about it legally
Right.
when it comes to that.
Well,
Thanks.
yeah, and again, it's a sticky wicket because business doesn't want to get regulated, but yet, my health should trump your business, or anyway, I've read too many books. What was it? The World According to Monsanto, and it was just absolutely scary. What
Oh
Oh
yeah.
what
yeah.
our kids will probably have to deal with, that we're dealing with it, but we're like the guinea pigs that, oh, he passed away, here's what it was. Whereas,
Yeah.
hopefully we can get to the testing, the research. Is that going to be a problem now with what has been happening with the latest legislation, with research, with any of that stuff? I mean, it's got to be terrible.
So it's funny you bring that up, because I was just brought up an hour ago on our our
Oh
company call.
no.
Um, so we're in unprecedented times right now. We really don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen. And so me, my colleagues that are senior development managers, we're the ones that raise the donor dollars for research, for advocacy, for all of the different pillars in our company. That's
Mhm.
what we do. That's what I do for our company. So we're the ones that are, not just us, I mean, we have corporate partners, we have philanthropy partners. So we're all as a unit, but we're the ones that are doing grassroots stuff,
Right.
doing events, we have a portfolio, we have a quota, we have money that we want to reach and get. So that's up to us. So that's why I was very grateful that you gave me the opportunity to be on this podcast to kind of talk more about it, because
Yeah.
um, it puts more awareness out there. And so the more fundraising and donor dollars that we get from a community, as a community standpoint, that will help break with with the tax cuts and what's happening with this unprecedented times right now,
Sure.
to equalize our budget and to bring in those donor dollars. So I'm out here busting my butt to try to raise money for cancer, for the research, for the
Well,
resources,
why don't we talk about the thing that you and I were discussing earlier, which is you're kind of running the making strides, correct, for this year?
I am. Yeah, so I am the new manager for Making Strides of Volusia, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer for Volusia Flagler. It's going to be at the Riverfront Esplanade on October
Oh, I
25th.
love those people, Brown and Brown, and
Yes, Politis, Montevina, they
yes.
are presenting sponsors. We're very grateful for them. Mr. Politis and Mr. Montevina, they have a 20-year commitment with us, and
God,
we
it's
are
like
actually.
Family Week. He's my attorney too.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I love that
Yeah.
guy.
So we are actually, so he is actually my presenting sponsor. So, sorry. So he will be sponsoring, and we're on actually year 15 now that he
Wow.
is sponsoring our event. So we are super excited, and we have, and we're at the moment, we're building a robust committee so we can really get some good donor dollars, because I really feel like Daytona has so much potential. We can be bigger than Orlando's walk. Orlando Lake Eola right now is the biggest walk of the Making Strides premiere,
Right.
and we're trying to
Well, so
outdo
where
them.
where would we be walking?
So right on the riverfront,
Okay.
right on the riverfront, right on the water. It's really beautiful, especially like during sunrise, because it is early in the morning.
Right.
The walk does begin at 8 a.m. It's a 5K walk, and it's right on the riverfront. I mean, honestly, I may be biased, but I think we have the most beautiful,
Oh, there's no doubt. There is no doubt. And the
the
thing
most
is,
beautiful walk.
yeah. But and it's I don't think that it's come anywhere close to what it's going to end up being once they this was just kind of laying it out, getting it set up, and now I think the real promotion is going to help. In our Kiwanis group, we used them last year for our duck race, and they were just so great. Man, it's just so cool. And then this year for the duck race. We did it with Jackie Robinson, but then we had, people obviously on the other side of the Halifax to watch 10,000 ducks get dropped into the water. But it is something that it, it's not that it's the same people over and over again having to give and help out our community, but it kind of is. And we definitely need to thank them. That's a heck of a give. I'm sure that it was not charged to you guys. And that's a huge area. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I think there's a lot of people that just don't know about our walk, and I've been noticing that
Mhm.
I've been hitting the pavement. I've been going to door. I've been calling. I've been emailing different businesses, different companies, and even attending these chamber breakfasts and meetings. And people are like, I mean, I went to Indian Motorsports yesterday, and the walk is literally across the street from them, and they're like, "You have a walk?" And I'm like, right there. He's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
the manager's like, "What? When?" And I'm like, "Saturday morning on October, the week after Biketoberfest." And they were like, "Oh my gosh, we didn't know about this." So I've just been realizing that we just really need to get the word out. Like you said,
Yeah.
everybody's been affected in some sort of way, whether it's mom, dad, brother, sister,
Yeah.
aunt, uncle, cousin, friend, loved one, coworker, whoever it is.
Yeah.
But when we come into unprecedented times, it takes a community to bring us together. You know how everybody says when you have a baby, it takes a village.
Right.
It takes a village just to keep the world going around, to
Yes.
support our fellow people, our fellow neighbors, our community.
Hmm.
I understand there's been a lot of separation lately with people and neighbors, and it's really
I
nice to
know.
just have humanity back in the world again, and letting people know that even though we're in these unprecedented times and people are having a hard time trusting other people, there's still good people out there. There's still people with humanity in there that we want to help, and this is our way of helping. So I mean, I wish I could
Well,
be out there.
about how much money, Shadi, do you think, or what's your target?
Well, our target for the walk, and it's on our website, we're trying to raise 275,000.
Awesome.
And and people can do that by either
I'm
going
gonna
online,
we're
signing up
gonna
for
post
free.
your link here so that people can go
Okay,
ahead and click and go right to it.
Also,
perfect.
Shadi,
Yeah.
last year for our duck event, they have a digital marquee at the News Journal Center. Call
Uh-huh.
them up and they'll put that on the marquee for you.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
with their logo,
Okay.
everything. Hey,
yeah,
sponsors needed.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely do that. The marquee.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's right at the
in
News
front of
Journal
the
Center. Me
News
and
Journal
Kelly found
Center.
out about it and used it for the duck race.
Okay.
Yeah, and they
Perfect.
have
Then
it's like a digital thing that says what's coming up and all of that. And uh, it was really great. We just noticed it and asked. They didn't offer it to us, but as soon as we mentioned it, they were like, "Oh yeah, just send us what you
No
want."
problem.
So it was great. It was great.
okay. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, for my walk, people can sign up for free, and they can participate as an individual, or they can start a team and they can fundraise. And then you get your own personal QR code where you can just either put it on your social media or send it out in a
Oh,
text message.
nice.
And then we also have a survivor breakfast. And this is something that I really want to get the word out, because not just our whole point of our walk is not just to raise money for resources and research and advocacy, but it's also to the
Yeah.
people that are still with us that have been affected by cancer, our survivors and our thrivers is what we call them. So our walk, and not just mine, but all the other strides walk. So if somebody's not in Volusia, someone can be in California. We have our strides walk on the same day. Everybody has it on October 25th. And if you are a cancer survivor or thriver, we have a breakfast that we sponsor for free. Well, we're getting somebody to sponsor,
Sure.
and you register online and you get to bring a plus one, and you get to enjoy breakfast with some free entertainment, and you get a nice goodie bag and with a bunch of swag stuff in there. And then you also get recognized on stage, and you get a medal that's saying that you are a cancer survivor, and you're the one they lead our walk as well too. So we will have
Oh man,
our
that is so
trying to get
cool.
our pacer motorcycle to be our pace instead of a pace car. Since we're in
Right.
Daytona, we're going to have a motorcycle. I mean, why not? It's Daytona. Let's represent with the
Sure.
motorcycles.
Well, and it'll get through
And
the narrow pathways there.
absolutely. I would love to have a motorcycle. So we have our motorcycle pacer, and then we have our survivors that lead the walk.
Right.
And then we're doing this in memory of anybody that's here with us that got to celebrate another birthday or another day on this earth with us. So I really encourage anybody who's a survivor, a thriver, to come out that morning, bring your plus one, enjoy your breakfast, enjoy the walk. We're going to have food trucks. It's a family friendly event. We have a bunch of vendors. Beauty Lounge gets to bring out a cute little mini
Jeez.
pony. I don't know if you guys seen the little pony out
Yeah.
there, but he's out there, and they're going to bring him back again this year. So, and we have our flower truck out there too with our donut truck, food truck. So we have a lot of fun things at our walk. So you cannot possibly be bored in the morning.
Right.
So, and it's a
Right.
great way to get your steps in for the day.
Think of it that way. Exactly. Well, let me ask you
Get to
this. Now, when
sunrise, steps, food.
right, is there a will like if they sign up, do they get a t-shirt? Do they get a number?
Uh-huh.
Is there how does that?
Yeah, you register. There's a T-shirt. We either mail you the shirts, or you can pick them up the day of the walk.
Mhm.
We will have the shirts there as well too. And I believe survivors automatically get a shirt. But if you're a participant and you raise more than $100, you get a T-shirt.
Oh, that's
And the T-shirt will be there at the walk for you to pick up.
that is so cool.
Yeah, great.
Well, I got to tell you.
And we do have monthly incentives for fundraisers if people sign up. Last month, I had put out Rascal Flats tickets. I go, whoever raises
Nice.
the most amount of money in a week, I will put you in a drawing for Rascal Flats tickets. I get some in-kind donations randomly. So I got an in-kind donation for Rascal Flats tickets. Trust me, I would have wanted to go
Oh,
myself.
I've done the same thing, and you're like, man, that's cool, but
And I was like, oh, can I raise money? And they're like, no, you have to. So, but it was somebody from Volusia Flagler that won the
oh,
tickets, because
nice.
this is a drawing that's throughout the state of Florida. So it wasn't just for
Oh,
Orlando,
cool.
it
Yeah,
was part
even
of
better.
Jacksonville, everywhere. And Volusia, this one of a girl from Volusia, she raised $358 in just 2 days, and
Whoa.
she got to go to Rascal Flats. That and she was texting me. She's like, "Is this for real?" And I go, "Yes, it's real. I
Will they let me
promise
in
you.
if
If
I
you
show
send
up?
me your email, you will get these tickets." And she was like, "I had a great time. Thank you so much." So we have incentives all the time. Right now, we have sweaters going as an incentive, and then every month we get a new incentive. So I always
Okay.
post that on our website, our Facebook
So keep
page, all of
raising
our social
money.
media.
Keep raising
Absolutely.
money.
I mean, it's for a great
Well,
cause,
sure.
and and our company, majority of our donor dollars, we have such a huge percentage, 83% is donor dollars. And then the rest, it's just staff
Hmm.
payments. So that's a huge percentage that
Huge.
goes back into the community as a whole.
Well, speaking of giving back into the community, I really wanted to give you a platform for, the making strides and what you're doing, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention, and again, we will put the links to these, but I just want to run through real quick the patient programs that the American Cancer Society offers. And first
Yeah.
one is free rides to treatment. Is that for real?
Absolutely. So it's called the Rideshare Program. And that program, it's through the donor dollar sponsors. I actually put this in my impact and gratitude reports with my sponsors that I actually currently am doing right now. And it tells them how many free rides. So these are people that probably have to get radiation treatments.
Yeah.
And when you have to get radiation, you have to go 7 days a week for 8 weeks straight.
It's not
There's
like you can
no
just
rest
leave
days
and
in
drive
between.
yourself and
And you're tired, you're
yeah.
going through a lot, and then you don't have a loved one to drive you. I mean, that's really hard. And then some, can you imagine the percentage of people not going to their treatments because of that? So
Yeah,
that's
no
part of
kidding.
our program where our donor dollars go. It's these ride share programs, and we have it everywhere, wherever you live. I will always have somebody from our company that's part of the Road to Recovery
Mhm.
rideshare program that will be at my walk as well too. And people can call our 1-800 number that we have 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's another one of our programs that the donor dollar supports.
And we'll put that
And
up.
and you just say, I need a ride to my radiation or my chemo treatments. Okay, where do you live? And these are people that are professional. I mean, they're
Well,
people
in
like you and me.
addition,
We're
there's a
volunteers, but
free
we train
lodging.
them.
There's a is if it's an overnight, you guys provide the lodging, is that correct?
Yes, if you live 40 miles outside of your treatment center,
Hmm.
so wherever your treatment center is, whether it's Mayo Clinic,
Right.
whether it's
Shans.
wherever it is, there's no discrimination because we provide resources to all of the cancer institutes and
Good.
hospitals. So wherever it is, if you're 40 miles away from your home, and if Hope Lodge has room, because
Right.
they do get booked up, you and your caregiver can stay there for free. And these rooms are beautiful. I don't, if you ever get a chance and if you ever drive by of a Hope Lodge in either in Jacksonville or Tampa, please stop by. But these places are absolutely beautiful. I mean, they're so clean. They have a kitchen because they know that there's special dietary restrictions,
Right. Well, and if you've got the
and
family, a lot of people don't realize there's other kids, it's not just mom and the
absolutely.
sick child. I work.
And it's beautiful. They have a beautiful garden, they have an outdoors place, they have an indoor game. I mean, literally, it's just like this beautiful home that you can stay in, with you and your caregiver until your treatment is over.
Man, I love you guys. I helped found the National Cancer Assistance Foundation. And
Oh,
literally, that was what I did. I had counselors, like especially at Shands in Gainesville, and it was an actual counselor who did the scheduling. And I just used to tell her, "Here's a number." She would call me and say, "We're down to 10," and I would go and book 200 room nights at a time. But there were families that needed them, you know. I mean, they were going through it. So to see that you're doing that, because that's it's the stress, you know,
absolutely. And
it's the
people don't
sister
understand that.
who can't go to prom or can't get a new dress to go to prom because they're broke. You know,
Right.
it's tragic.
Right. And cancer doesn't discriminate. So
Right.
whatever tax bracket, age, race, whatever you're in, you're going to get hit with it. And so we provide resources, and that's really what we're raising money for. That's what I'm out hitting the pavement, working hours and hours driving
Dedicated your life to.
driving an hour away from where I live, and
Yeah.
to provide these resources for our community.
Well, and on a moment's notice to appear on our show just so that you can help get the word out. I love you, Shadi. I mean, really, that's great. The last one, though, I mean, we're going to put these links up so that people can go directly to them. One is the breast cancer support, the Cancer Survivors Network, and then obviously the 24/7 cancer helpline. The one I want to talk about, mostly because it deals with me, is
Uh-huh.
the smoking cessation. Uh,
Oh, congratulations,
Thank
by
you.
the
Since
way. Big
January
congrats.
6th, I have not smoked a cigarette, and I was stupid enough to have done it for like 40 some years. And it was not an easy thing. It's still not an easy thing, but yeah, people can do it. But I could not do it by myself. I couldn't just throw a pack of cigarettes away and go, "Oh, that's it." It was the whole everything, the system, the cessation, even being able to call somebody when you got that because
That
you knew.
urge.
Uh, so anyway, well, Shadi, I we have covered a lot of ground here, but the most important thing that we definitely want everyone to take away from this is not only do we want you walking in the making strides, but we want you donating. And if you can't donate, we want you to be a sponsor.
Yes.
or
So,
volunteer.
Absolutely.
yep,
And we provide a lot of amenities for our sponsors. You get a tax break as well too. So don't think that it's just, up and gone. We also steward our sponsors year round too. So, and you also, depending on your level, we invite you to other events. So it's
right.
not just one and done.
Yeah.
You're a family to us. When you become a sponsor, you're a family. So
Once you're
it's
in the
a year
game, then
round.
you get the benefit of all of the other networking, everything that you guys do.
Yep. And you get the joy of talking to me for the whole entire year, year after year, for a couple of years. So,
Well, that is amazing. And Shadi, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you, first of all, and to share this wonderful time with you, and to get the word out about a truly a great organization that really needs people's help. Everybody says, "Oh, it's this national thing. They get money from this, da 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 da." No. And some of that funding is not going to be making it here. So we're going to have to scramble even harder in the future. So, Shadi, thanks for being our guest today on another episode of Volusia Flagler Cares. We hope you enjoyed yourself. We'll be here next Friday at 4 p.m. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody.
thank you.